Yeah, hello everyone. Welcome to today's video. Today we're going to look at a video on Agile series. It's a very important video. It's a very simple video, but it's very important to understand the basics of Scrum and what is the need for us in Scrum. So we're going to have an overview about Scrum in this video. So let's start this video with a quote from Gunther Vergian. Scrum is more about behavior than it is about process. Look at the words very carefully used by Gunther. Gunther is a Scrum expert. He says that Scrum is about process, but Scrum is more about behavior than it's about the process. Right? They are saying Scrum is a process, but Scrum is more about a behavior. Scrum is more about the values and principles. Agile is more about values and principles than a process. Agile itself a framework, Agile itself a process. Scrum it's a framework and itself a process, but Scrum and Agile it's more about behavior, right? So that's where Agile coaches need to give more importance, in when they coach the Agile methods, right? So Agile methods is more about behavior, more about mindset, how the team is behaving in every situation, right? That's very important, right? What is Scrum? I'm taking this paragraph from Scrum Guide. Let's look at the words very carefully. Scrum is a lightweight framework, right? It's very lightweighted. We'll see why it is lightweighted, right? It is having only three artifacts, three roles, five values, and five events. That is the reason it's called lightweight. It's a lightweight framework that helps three layers: people, that the individual himself or herself, the teams, and the organizations. Right? Scrum is a lightweight framework which helps all the three layers: individual layer, team layer, and the organization layer generate value. Right? Most of the time, they in Agile they never use the word product. They'll use the word value most of the time. No point in producing a product which is not adding any value to customer, right? So that is the reason they're emphasizing the word value throughout the agile processes, agile vocabularies. Generates value through adaptive solutions for complex problems, right? So in my previous videos we have seen that in the pinbox 7 series we have seen that the difference between the predictive solutions and adaptive solutions, right? The Scrum is one of the agile methods which is an adaptive method, right? It's a very lightweight framework. It helps all the layers of organization, and it generates value, right? That's what very important. And it is adaptive in nature. Why it is adaptive? Because of incremental and iterative in nature, right? So in a nutshell, Scrum requires a Scrum master, uh, you know a servant leader, to foster an environment where a product owner orders the work, ranks the work for a complex problem into a product backlog. This is the first step in a Scrum. The product owner ranks the user stories. Work is nothing but user stories or epics or features, whatever it is, into a product backlog. Right? The product backlog is built by product owner by adding user stories and epics and features and ranks by himself or herself. Then the Scrum team, the development team, turns the selection of the work nothing but towards sprint backlog. Subset of the product backlog, they are selecting certain few items in a particular sprint into an increment of value that is nothing but your working software or MEP, minimum viable product, during a sprint. Then the Scrum team and stakeholders inspect the results. Right? They inspect the results in this sprint demo. They'll check the product and adjust for the next sprint. How they adjust is what is being done, what is not done, and move it back to the product backlog, adjust your behavior. Similarly, you can inspect your processes, results in retrospective, adjust your behavior for the next sprint. Fourth important step is repeat. That is very, very important. So these are the four steps involved in a scrum, right? Ideally it's 3 steps. Fourth step is repeat the same steps again and again. That is the reason it's called lightweight, right? That is the reason it's called adaptive in nature. That is the reason it's called, it is generating value, right? Look at the pictorial representation of agile scrum framework, right? There are important roles like product owners, scrum master, and team members. There are stakeholders like business people, marketing people, sales people, customers, right? And there is a product vision and epics and user stories are part of product backlog. It is ranked by product owner, right? There is a release plan, and then it's getting into the sprint planning. There, sprint planning meeting, sprint backlog is being accepted and created and accepted by the team. They are getting into the sprint, right? Using daily scrum, going for a sprint review meeting, and then ends up with the sprint retrospective meeting, right? What do you do that? Scrum Master will log the impediments in impediments log, then burn down chart as a radiator, which is shown in every daily stand-up meeting, and then project retrospective meeting happens end of the project. So this is a simple pictorial representation of 4 steps what we discussed in the previous slide. We are showing pictorially for you, right? So let's understand the Scrum pillars of the Scrum. There's not only the pillars of Scrum, these are the pillars of any empirical methods which is being used for adaptive solutions or any agile methods. What are the 3 pillars of Scrum? Transparency, inspection, and adoption. What is in it in each category? Transparency. What is the transparency? Giving a visibility to the significant aspects, right? Giving visibility to the significant aspects. Look at the words very carefully they're using. Significant aspects of the process are a solution to those responsible for the outcome, right? It can be your team members, it can be the project manager, it can be a scrum master, it can be a product owner, it can be a product manager, it can be a customer, project sponsor, right? Giving the visibility to the significant aspects, it's called transparency. What is inspection? Timely checks on the progress towards a sprint goal or a release goal, whatever we say that, to detect undesirable variances, right? You are checking using a burn down chart. Is a sprint goal is going smooth? People are completing the stories, increasing the story points, velocity day by day. That's a timely check. Every 24 hours, you do that daily stand-up meeting or a daily sync-up meeting. Do the check on the progress. Understand is any bottlenecks, right? There's one way of daily check is it's on the progress on the sprint goal. Another timely checks are your sprint reviews and sprint retrospectives. You do sprint check, timely check on your processes every 2 weeks, every 4 weeks, whatever the sprint length it is. Similarly, you do that timely check for your product as well. What is adaptation? Adjusting a process as soon as possible. So, moment you see some undesirable variance, there is a bottleneck. There is something definition of done is not appearing very good. So adjust the process to minimize the further deviation. So these are the 3 pillars of any empirical process that includes Scrum as well. Transparency, giving visibility to significant aspects, inspection, timely check the progress of the product as well as the process, adopt, test, and adjusting it, right? So this is the simple representation. What is in it at Scrum? There's only 3 roles: product owner, development team, and Scrum Master. There are 3 artifacts: product backlog, owned by product owner; sprint backlog, owned by the team; product increment, owned by the team. Product increment, nothing but our MVP or working software. There are only 5 events. Sprint itself an event. Then you start with the sprint planning meeting. Sprint starts with the sprint planning meeting, and daily Scrum meeting happens on daily basis. End of the sprint, you have Scrum review meeting and Scrum retrospective. Nothing but your sprint demo and sprint retrospective. 5 values, right? We discussed about 5 values in next slide as well. This is the reason, right? 3 5 3 5 is, that's the reason it's called lightweight process. We will discuss these roles, artifacts, and events in detail in upcoming videos. Today we will focus on Scrum values, right? And we end with certain quick things, right? What are the Scrum values? courage. The first one is the courage. The Scrum team members have courage to the right thing and work on the tough problems. Right? So you need to have, if you are a team member for Scrum, you need to have a courage to the right thing. Right? You need to have a right skill set. If you don't have a right skill set, get trained, do the right thing. The next one is the focus. Everyone focus on the work of the sprint and the goals. So everyone is focusing on sprint goals. Everyone is focusing on release goals. Right? It's not a one guy's work. It is everybody's work. Everybody is focusing on what's happening on other guys' work, helping each other. So entire team is focusing on the single sprint goal. Similarly, commitment. Entire team is personally committing to the achieving the sprint goal for the team. Right? They're not even talking about achieving the goals of an individual. They're talking about achieving the goals of the Scrum team. The focus on the goal, commit on the goals, all based on your sprint goals and release goals. The fourth value is the respect. How to respect each other. Scrum team members respect each other to be capable and independent people. You need to respect their other skill set. Right? The business analyst should respect you UX guy. The developer should respect testing people, right? So everybody has their own skill set, their own talent, their own areas of strength. You need to be respect their capability and independence. The final value is openness. The Scrum team and stakeholders agree to open about all the work. That's what happening in the every Scrum event: sprint planning, daily sync-up meeting, sprint demo, and sprint review. Tell open about all the work and tell the challenges. Openly tell that this is not working for me. I need help here. Tell the challenges, while you're performing the work. So these are the 5 values an individual need to carry when you work on a Scrum, right? So it's about when I say that when I started that this video, right? I told you that Scrum is more about the behavior. So these are the values that helps you to create customer oriented behavior, team oriented behavior, right? Empirical oriented behaviors, adaptive behaviors, right? So I would like to end this video with a quote from Jeff Sutherland, who is the who is a creator of Scrum. He clearly says, you are doing the heart of the Scrum if the development team has potentially shippable increment of the product at the end of the sprint. In other way, if you are not delivering a working software, if you're not delivering an incremental value to customer at the end of the sprint, we are not doing Scrum at all. So the primary measure of the progress is working software. It is reflecting the principles of Agile. One of the main principles of Agile is been reflected here. Only when you are doing hard on the Scrum, if you are able to ship a working software or a minimum viable product at the end of the sprint. Right? So with that, I would like to conclude a Scrum overview. I think you got a very nice idea and very quick idea about and a different interpretation from my side. I will be bringing more videos on Scrum roles, Scrum artifacts, Scrum events in upcoming days. Okay, so we'll see you in upcoming videos. I would like to listen to your comments, right, and other views. What are the videos you would like to look at it? Give and put your comments in the description. I would like to value your comments and accordingly I will act on that, right? So thanks for listening. We'll see you in upcoming videos tomorrow and upcoming days. See you. Bye bye.